Welcome to another learning field episode of the online Efiko Podcast, and a big welcome to our ever-expanding community of podcast learners in Nigeria and on the larger African continent. The online Efiko is a unique community that consists of this podcast as well as our learning platform at www.onlineefiko.com. As the name suggests, we pride ourselves for being very serious-minded, scholarly and intellectual people. And our goal is to continue to spread learning and ideas with a rich African content and context to everyone within and outside the African continent who is interested. In today's episode, we will continue from where we stopped in our series on presentation and public speaking skills. This time, focusing on planning for our presentation by carrying out an audience analysis. My name is Omagbitse Barrow, and I am your online Efiko. Audience analysis is about asking questions and making inquiries regarding your audience that will help you to design and develop a presentation that actually suits them. Audience analysis essentially involves asking as many questions and thinking through some of the needs and attitudes and expectations that your audience has. Let's work together to come up with as many questions as possible that we can ask our questions and then try to rationalize how they will affect the design of our presentations. So here's a scenario. You are to deliver a presentation to your company's board on a new policy initiative from your department that requires board approval. What questions can you ask to help you understand your audience better? And what possible implications will these questions and the answers you receive have for your presentation? So let's say I think about this and I say, wouldn't it be nice to know how experienced are these board members in that particular area? This is important because the level of experience will impact on the level of detail that you would have to present. Another good question would be, have they worked in environments where such a policy was in place? And if yes, then you can include such places using what we call, remember, the principle of consensus. Another important question would be, what concerns do you think they would have about the initiative? Now, this helps you ensure that your presentation addresses all their concerns and proactively anticipates them even before they ask you. Very intelligent. Another good question. Who among them have openly commended or condemned a similar initiative? Now, this helps you know the people who will be most resistant to your proposition and your presentation, and also to know those who will be its strongest supporters. Now, you can use this information to anticipate the objections or to make references that will further support your position. The truth about this is that these questions that I have posed are not cast in stone, or are they exhaustive? In fact, you can come up with questions that are like these depending on the particular context of your presentation challenge. But by asking these questions and getting to understand your audience better, you will no doubt create a better and more impactful presentation. Many years ago, I was the head of human resources at Stanbic IBTC Pensions, and I came up with a proposal to my colleagues in the EXCO to create a library for staff use. The first time I made that what I thought was a great pitch, I learned a powerful lesson in audience analysis. You see, I didn't do any audience analysis, and I assumed that everyone would be excited about my proposal to have a library. Far from it, my proposal was turned down. With a better understanding of audience analysis and organizational savvy, I came back at the next quarter's EXCO meeting with a bang. This time, I had invested in having the meeting before the meeting with each EXCO member, especially with my proposal's vociferous critics from the previous meeting and with some of the fence sitters. One of them, for example, suggested that we interview staff and play the interview videos as part of the presentation. I then added a short survey to it, and then I had the perfect arsenal. During the presentation to the EXCO, I referred to the suggestions and inputs I received from some of them, calling their names and thanking them for their inputs. I got a unanimous 100% approval. So, I encourage you as you go back to work to take time to analyze your audience better and use this as a basis for designing and delivering your presentations. One of the institutions that supports our podcast is Be Better Books, a leading provider of life skills resources and books in Nigeria that actually support children, youth, and adults to develop skills in the important areas of leadership and personal effectiveness, communication skills, creativity and innovation, and financial literacy. I would therefore encourage you to visit www.bebetterbooks.biz to find out more and take advantage of some of the resources that are there. And I look forward to being with you again next week as we continue with our series on public speaking and presentation skills on the online Efiko Podcast.